Hey everyone, and welcome to this video where I'm gonna make a walkthrough of the Peaceful Warrior. And if you have come just directly from the Peaceful Warrior and already seen that video where I do all the movements and demonstrate how it works, then you've come to the right place now because you're ready to see what muscles are engaged, what each exercise helps for, and that will help you a lot when you're going to practice them on your own. If this is the first time you hear about the Peaceful Warrior and you haven't seen that video, check in the description below on the no commentary video where I just do all the movements and see that first so you can see a natural way of doing the practices before you're going to hear all the explanations on how to perform them. Okay, with that being said, let's join the video. Let's see what kind of training the Peaceful Warrior is. And just before that, the Peaceful Warrior is inspired by Dan Millman, or it's his artwork actually. He was intrigued by all the excuses that people make for not doing exercises and not keeping their bodies flexible and healthy. So he made an exercise that he could see you could do in 4 minutes. Well, I can perform it in 5 minutes in the video, but he intended it to be just 4 minutes practice, so you never have an excuse for not doing a little bit of exercise every day. Great. So let's have a look at the training. I'm going to share my iPad screen with you here. So let's see how that works out. There we go. Okay, so right now you should be able to see my screen here. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to write and draw a little bit on the video while the practices is ongoing, and that's the way we're going to do it. So first text here, this is the Peaceful Warrior practice. Okay, let's have that standing there. And the first practice I'm going to perform is called, it's a stretch back, swing down practice. Stretch back, swing down. So that's the first one. Okay, let's have a look at it. Just gonna put the text over here. So here we go. And at first, what you want to do here is you want to stand tall and your feet is about 1 foot in between. So pretty small stance. And you just want to start standing, and let's have a look at the movement here. So you swing back, bend forward, stretch your legs and come up. Swing back, stretch your legs, swing up and bend forward. So what you're doing here, I'm going to draw a little bit. You want to, let's have him come up again. There we go. You want to extend your legs all the way up so the energy moves up, and you want to bend your hands behind the back like that when you bend up, and swing as far back as possible. From this position, you're going to swing forward, and from the hips, you bend slightly in the knees, and you're going to bend the whole body forward in a swinging motion. So let's see how that looks like. Swing, boom. Okay, so you see bending forward here from the hip, slightly bended in the knee here, and the arms swing around. So if you imagine here's the arms, they swing around and they come up here, okay? And then from here, you're gonna extend the legs. So let's just erase a little bit. From here, you're gonna extend the legs. So the energy for you will be moving downwards into the legs, into the ground, and the body will move upwards again into starting position. There we go. So this is a transition here, and we're going to move into the squat and side stretch. So this one here, I'm just going to write the text. This is the squat. This is the second practice, the squat and side stretch. Oh, just to mention before in the first practice, That one helps you a lot with getting the blood flow, starting to warm up your spine and also your legs for further practices. So what we have here is the squat and side stretch. Let's just have a look first on the starting stand. So as you see, my feet here, they start with about a little bit wider than shoulder. As you see here, a little bit wider than shoulder. You will start in a squat position with your hands folded. So let's just move a little bit further here. There we go. So this is your starting position. And what you want to focus on in this practice here is to move all the energy into your legs, into the legs here. And then you want to side stretch your spine right away into one of the sides. Okay, so it will look something like that. And you'll take your arms at the same time into a stretch. Similar like this. And similar like that. So let's have a look at that. So you come down, stretch up, go down, stretch up. Okay. Let's have a end position again there. So what you see here is you want to stretch your spine as you move up, right? It's the same movement right away. You want to have your neck following along. You want to have your arms extending all the way at the end position. And then you just want to come from this position and down into the starting position. And we do around 3 reps to each side, right? So that's the one side, then we do the stretch up to the other side. Looks like that. Boom. Boom. Okay. So now I'm going to make a transition again. Next transition to practice number 3. And the third practice here is called the neck releaser. So we're going to warm up the neck here. 3. There we go. So the neck releaser here is really good for just, warm-ups, get your body going. So if you start out in the morning, this is a perfect practice you want to start out with. And you want to hold the focus again on your feet position here. It's very tight, about a feet distance here. You want to be with active and straight legs. You want to keep the whole upper body from here and all the way down steady. And you see my arms are interlocked behind, so you can hold your wrist behind here. The movement is to release the neck. So as I bend the neck forward, as you see here, I exhale. This will also be in the description, so you can see it there. But here I exhale, moving forward. There's a little change to that actually. All the movement happens on an inhale, and when you get into the stretching position, then you exhale to give the stretch. So I move forward, inhalation, and exhale in the stretch. There we go. I'm stretching and exhaling. Inhale, moving the neck up. Exhale, then I'll be stretching here. Okay, and then I move to the side on an inhalation and exhale to stretch. And just follow your natural breath here, or do a long breath if that feels comfortable. And to the other side. And keep your shoulders again. You see, keep your shoulders just steady. Don't move anything here. It's just the head that's releasing. Okay, and actually we prepared right away to what is called the 4th exercise, which is shoulder rolls. Shoulder rolls. So I'll just write that over here. So you got that. Shoulder rolls. And as you see, this is exactly the same as before with your feet. You keep your feet just 1 foot apart. So let us draw here, 1 feet apart, here and here. Again, keep the hips tight and active, and just move your shoulders. You can keep the wrist lock that you have on your arms behind here. Keep that wrist lock there, so your arms are relaxed, and it's just the shoulders, right? So the shoulders starts first at moving forward. So let's have a look at that. It's 3 shoulder rolls, right? So you see forward and up, forward and up, back and down, round again, and repeat. So that's the movement here. You go forward, not the easiest. So first you do forward and up. You do down, back, to back, and down, and start again. There we go. Just warms up the shoulders, give a good workout for the neck as well. Now we get ready for propulse. So this practice here, there's 2 things that's very important. Let's first have the name for it. This is the 5th practice, and you want to transition the practices as easy as possible. It's also called the spine swing. I like to call it the propel. There we go. And as you see with this practice here, it's really gonna start to increase the heart rate because we're moving more of the body and fast. So what you wanna pay attention for in this practice is you see the feet now are about shoulders width, a little bit wider, so longer distance in between here. You wanna keep these legs and your hips squared at all times. They don't move as much as possible. All the swing goes from here, about the midsection, and with the stomach. All this here is swinging. Of course, your arms, they point outwards, stretch outwards into your fingers, let the blood flow into your fingers here, and swing around. Move your head with the swing, okay? And it looks like this. Let's just have a look. Okay. So as you see here, I swing as far as I can back and forth. I inhale when I swing my arms back. I exhale when I reach the front. That right there, I exhale and tighten up my stomach here. So inhale again on the swing back. So it's really fast, like this. So you got that swing going on and you're forcing your breath, really putting a good tempo on it. What more can I say about this one? It will really warm up the spine. Keep your head flowing with the hands. So here, that's a tightness. Exhale. And keep the energy flowing out into your arms. Keep that breath flowing, as I explained before. And it takes a practice to get into that rhythm. So start slowly if that's your preference, right? But just remember to keep the hips steady, feet steady, and swing away. There we go. Also massaging the inner organs a little bit. Really good for the energy. Okay. So what I'm going to switch into here is the 6th practice, which is Elvis Pelvis. So it's really good for your hips. Hip rolls. And this practice here pretty much says itself, but it of course works very much in your hips. And what you want to focus on here is you just have a slightly more closed feet than before, slightly closed. And you want to keep your legs active, little bended in the knee. And all the movement happens in your hips. This up here is supposed to be kept pretty much steady. So only roll in your hips here. Let's see how that looks like. You roll your hips around Inhale forward, exhale backwards. Inhale forward, exhale backwards. Inhale, oh, the other way. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and that's the way it goes. This is really good to release any emotional tension, as emotions has a tendency to go into our hips. It helps to release energy, and you also have more creativity available to you because you have awareness of moving your creative parts, so to speak. And there's a lot of creative energy stored in our hips. So that releases creativity for you. Let's see that movement going on here. Okay, so here I turn around for the 7th practice, which is heaven and earth. Let's remove this here. And of course, you can always take the other practice, go with this one next to it, and see it in slow motion. So let's have the 7th practice here, heaven and earth. There we go. This practice here is really great for activating your coordination, and also there's a certain balance with it. So the starting position is, as you see here, you are having your legs slightly bent, slightly leaning forward and arms bent, because I am tightening up all muscles in my body here. I'm really squeezing my thighs, my calves, my butt, my stomach, my arms, my shoulders, my chest, my back. Everything is tightened up, neck as well, right? So here's a really tight. And what you want to do from this position is you're gonna push energy down into the earth and lift one leg up. It's gonna go like one leg straight down, and then one leg is gonna go up like that. My body's gonna go up like this, and my one arm is opposite that leg here is gonna go upwards. So let's have a look at how that will look like. So from this position, tightening up everything, let's have a look first. I'm gonna extend, boom. Extend, boom. Okay, let's have one more and just stop at the top. There we go. So I'm doing these movements with a powerful move, like a fast switch. And you can do it slowly as well. It's just a matter of opinion, what works for you, or a matter of preference, so to speak. So importance just is to have, first and foremost, very tight stand, 1 feet apart, one leg into the ground when you raise up, straight leg, and one leg bended here. You can also bend it outwards if you want to. One arm swinging back or swinging down, and one arm swinging up. So let's have some arrows here so you can see. This one is going upwards, and this one is also going upwards. And I'm going to switch back and forth. There's a certain balance you need to keep here. So you have a good contact both at ground level, especially when you're tightening up everything, and you have to reach for the sky at the same time in the movement. Let's have a look again how that looks like. Boom, tighten up, boom, up. Tighten up, reach. Tighten up, reach. And you do about 3 repetitions on each side. Of course, you can do more repetition if you like, but if you want to keep it within the 4 or 5 minutes, about 3 repetitions on each side. And you see I'm not reaching straight up. Well, it's just because my flexibility is not yet there. You want to always improve and see if you can move more and more straight. So, okay, so here's the switch for the 8th exercise. So when you want to transition, that's also another thing. See, in the beginning, it's difficult to just transition smoothly as I'm doing in the video, but with practice, you'll get used to it. And the transition here is for the 8th practice, which is called skiing, or long run skiing. And here, what we do is we keep pretty much the same distance between the feet, but we want to be jumping, right? So let's just have a look here. You want to jump like you're skiing. Boom, swing your arms out. And you want to have your feet swinging back and forth, creating momentum, right? Landing, this leg going straight back. So all the movement happens in the hips. Like you're going forward, but you're staying steady. Arms, they swing out. Keep it as straight as possible. I see my right arm here is not so straight, but this one will probably be. You swing them as straight as possible. So let's have a look here how that flows. Boom, 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 boom. You do about 12 to 20 of these. And you want to really get your heart rate up and pumping. There we go. So from here, you transition in the 9th practice. Oh, of course, the benefits of the skiing is that you get your heart rate up, training your heart a little bit, training your conditioning. And as you move your arms and legs in momentum like that, opposite of each other, you also help the blood flow getting more into your ligaments, your fingers and your toes and your legs and arms. So from the transition into the 9th exercise here, which is buns down and buns up. So 9th is buns down, buns up. I also like to call it downward dog, upward dog. So let's have a look at it here. This is the first step. So I'm preparing myself to do the downward dog here, okay? And in the downward dog, let's just see my go in position. There we go. Let's have a move here. It's a free rep, right? So I can always, there we go. Right here, what you want to focus on in the downward dog, if you're unfamiliar with it, is you want to have your legs pointing into the earth, into the ground. Boom. Heels pointing downward. You want to have the energy from your back into your arms and pressing into the floor here. You want your fingers to be like really spread. If you can see the small video up here, you can really spread your fingers. Don't keep them tight, keep them spread it out. And with your butt here, you want your butt to raise up into the sky. So buns up. Your head, you want to relax your neck and have a gaze around here or up on your knees. So relax neck and have a gaze. That's the downward dog. Then I'm going into the upward dog. So you see I'm switching over here. That's the upward dog. And the upward dog, the importance with that here is you still want to keep your legs active. So keep the legs active, have the energy move. You see my toes, I'm barely touching with my toes, so it gives a great awareness. You want the energy go from your toes all the way out through the skull here. That's the way the energy flows here. You want to keep your stomach tight, shoulders a little bit back here. You want to keep your butt tight. Tight in your thighs and your arms. You want your arms to point directly down and again into the ground. Down into the ground, pressing away. And you're looking upwards. You don't want to keep your energy like it's going upwards. You want your energy to have this sway in it. Really lengthen your spine as much as possible in this downward dog. You do about 3 repetitions of these back and forth. Boom, boom. And what this helps with is it increases the blood flow again in your body, but more so it increases the energy flow in the body. This really helps energy to move with awareness. So awareness into the feet when it is that you're doing the downward dog and into your hands. And then when you move into the upward dog, your awareness goes back into the toes and you feel your balance through the legs all the way out through your crown of the head. So that energy movement and flow of awareness helps you to release any blockages, emotional contractions, things like that. So here's the transition I'm making into number 10. So I'm just going to clean up here what I've drawn up here. Looking forward to hear your comments on how this explanation works out for you, if you want me to do it a little bit different. But let's look into that later on. Number 10 is what we call rock and roll. So number 10, rock and roll. There we go. And rock and roll, well, you'll have a look at the practice here. Boom, switching into sitting position. And what you want to focus on in the sitting position is you have your feet together here, knees out to the side, bend it up. You want to have a really curved back and let your head hang. Really curve that back here. Relax your arms in front. And now you want to roll back onto your back. So using the back as a roll, right? As a cushion. And you want to roll so fast that you get up on top of the back here. So you're landing here, get your arms straight out here, and you want your upper body to come up and the legs upwards. Let's see if I manage to do that the first time. Swing back, not all the way. Swing back, and let's have a pause here. So as you see, I use my arms as I get back because I want to protect my neck. So always swing your arms back first. And then you want to have so much momentum that your back is curved upwards and your legs, they can be bended and upwards. Or you can have them straight up. Sometimes I like to have my legs out here and bend them down touching, depending on also in your flexibility. So you're going to move, you know, in the way that you can do it. Okay. So let's have a look here at the flow. So on down, breathe in and up. Every time I move, I breathe. And then when I get to an end position, I exhale. So breathe in, flow, exhale. Breathe in. Oh, and there's transition here. Okay, the breathing will also be explained in the description. Next practice is the V-ups. So 11th practice here, V-ups. There we go. The V-ups, yeah. So the purpose of the V-ups, of course, is to work your stomach. And you want to sit in a V. That's the whole name of it. So you're going to activate your core, especially, and you're going to go from your hips into a V here. That's the purpose of it. Keep your neck as much as possible in alignment with your spine. And the legs can be bended if it's difficult at first. And then later on, you can stretch them out. Also here, you can keep them bended. So let's have a look. Inhale. So moving upwards, you inhale. Activating your core, keep your legs active. And exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale. And as you can see, the more you start to do the practice, the easier it is for you to be straight and straight with your legs. Really good core exercise, and it's just 3 reps, you'll get used to it. From this position here, I'm going to transition into what is called the cradle. And what you see me doing here is the cradle. That's the 12th cradle. Rocking cradle. So let's call it the rocking cradle. There we go. You want to lay down here and raise your torso up, right? So again, just almost like the V-sit, but this time we're just raising the torso a little bit up from the floor. Just the torso up. Keep your arms into your chest. Lift your legs. Keep them straight or keep them bended. And then you want to rock back and forth. You want to keep a rocking motion with fast breathing. And that's the whole body you want to keep rocking here. Like that. Very beautiful drawing lines here. But you want to keep it rocking. So as you look, you see, fast breathing, keep it rocking, and that's it. You want to go for 10 breaths. Just keep that tight belly. You can put your hands on the belly if you want to feel that it's tight. Tap it a little bit. And yeah, ready to transition to the next practice. So as you see with these practices here, they're pretty short, right? And you get through a lot of practices in a short time. And actually, it's really rewarding for me at least, and the brain, to do a lot of different things quick and fast, because you have to stay focused, you have to stay aware, and you're moving your body in very many positions. So that activates alertness. So you'll really be fresh after this practice. So from the rocking cradle, you want to go into the swan dive, because most of all the practices we've done here has activated either the stomach, the chest, a little bit flexibility in our spine and in our back, but mainly it's been the front side that's been practiced, or the legs. So we want to also activate the back. So swan dive is the next practice, and my transition is simply just to switch forward on laying on my chest. There we go. And what you want to do here, you want to lift up. Big swan dive. You want to keep your legs together. So as you see here, legs here, you want to keep them together pretty tight. Lift them off the ground high up, or just slightly up. It's up to you. But they want to be lifted. Activate your butt here, your glutes. Raise your torso up and extend your arms with your spine or with your torso. Keep them wide and spread it here. There we go. Lift your head up a little bit. And you want to keep this position while you do 3 deep inhalations, and then go down and repeat 3 times. So you'll see here, I'm going to stay up. After 3 deep breaths, I'm going to relax. Inhale, going up, staying up for 3 deep breaths, really activating here my back, pushing in to the floor here with my stomach. Keep it tight. And that's the swan dive. It's good for the back, very healthy. So the next practice here is going to be the last practice with movement. And it's called a free movement. So free movement. And that's the main priority of it. You are supposed to express yourself as freely as possible. So let's have a look at that. You just transition up into standing. And from here, you just follow your breath, right? How is your breath flowing? Move with it, how you feel like. Yeah. And what you see me doing here is just something random, but then it's just what I feel like. It's just how I want to do it. It's not something you want to exactly copy. You just want to flow with where it feels good in your body. If you want to move your neck, your legs, give a good stretch, whatever really feels great, and then move with your breath. Try really and find that momentum where your breath is flowing and you're moving with your breath, not withholding and not forcing. It's a practice in the beginning. It can feel really uncomfortable just to move without actually having any order to follow, and it's a good challenge, especially if you are doing it in front of other people or having people looking at you, or if you're an instructor, want to take this warm up before you're doing practices with people. Well, it can be a good challenge, but you'll also have a good laugh of it. So yeah, you just move with your breath. It's about half a minute or so that you want to do it. You can, of course, do for longer if you want. There's no exact rules, except for you have to keep moving. Okay, you just have to keep moving, keep going, no pauses, and then yeah, whatever feels good. Seems like I wanted to stretch my legs a lot there. I see I'm warming up also for some of my animal exercises there, and yeah. So this is just what happened to flow for me in that moment, expressing myself. Oh, and I see I already stopped here. Wait a second. Am I getting back? Can't remember. Is the video done? Because, figures. So the last part, there we go. The last part of the practice is actually that you want to relax, right? So you started your morning, you moved a lot of things through, you had your alertness, you have your energy moving and flowing, the blood is flowing, your heart is pumping, and then you want to take just a minute's complete relaxation. So that's the last part here. The 15th is relax, right? Or timeout, as he calls it, timeout. So the timeout, main purpose here is put all your attention on letting go. Just letting go. Give yourself a minute here or half a minute. Just letting go. Completely let the body be one with the floor. Relax all muscles, all tension, mind, thoughts. Just relax. Okay. I hope you like this walkthrough here. If you have any comments, of course, leave them in the comment section below. And just going to sign off here. Peaceful Warrior practice. Hope you liked it. Going to stop the share. Boom. There we go. So yeah, as I said, I really hope you like this recording that I made for you here, the walkthrough. If you have any comments, please leave them below. Looking forward to answer any questions you have. And of course, happy practicing. I hope this will motivate you to get started exercising, or also just on days that can be very stressful or you have a lot of stuff to do. Always keep in mind 5 minutes, and you can move all your body through in that 5 minutes. Yeah. As a last note, take a cold shower afterwards. If you really want to refreshen your system and activate your central nervous system and get a fresh, clear start, take a cold shower afterwards. Start with warm if you like it that way. Wash with soap and such. Soap and cold water is not so good. Then take a cold shower as 30 seconds or a minute, and you'll be all good to go. Awesome. I'm Brian Jacobsen, by the way. I'm the founder of Amindforyou. I have an online course called Ultimate Students, where we practice to train the mind to focus, to do our bidding, to create our dreams, to organize our thoughts, emotions, and actions on a daily basis, to create habits that helps us to bring our dreams to life, to see ourselves as a force of creation, and how we can make ideas come true. And as well, I'm also a mind trainer. I help people, train their minds to create more of what they want. This is one of the practices I really like to share, but I've got many others. So stay on the channel here. Please subscribe if you like what I'm showing you. And leave your comments. And as always, stay focused, stay organized, and get ahead. Much love. Bye-bye.